The Berlin International Film Festival is one of the largest public festivals in the world, attracting tens of thousands of visitors from around the globe each year. Once again, the 2024 edition was an amazing spectacle, so let's have a look at some of the highlights. And while the preparation for such a big event takes months and even years of planning, not everyone was fully informed about what the Berlinale had in store this year.
Tell you the truth, I've worked till this afternoon and I haven't even, I've looked at the program, but I haven't even checked which ones I want to see, and so it's going to be all a big surprise box for me.
Due to other activities, German actor Christian Friedl only made a quick visit. He starred in the World War II film The Zone of Interest, and with his German roots, both the film and the festival are of great importance to the actor.
I'm really grateful to be here. I think it's an important and political festival, and even in these times, I think it's great that we have art in our life. Unfortunately, it's the only evening for me at the Berlinale, because at the weekend I'm with Jonathan Glazer and our team with the BAFTAs. Unfortunately, I cannot be here or I cannot watch so many films, but I think it's great that the Berlinale is here.
At the time, nobody knew The Zone of Interest would win big at the BAFTAs. After winning the Grand Jury Prize last year with Roter Himmel, director Christian Petzold is attending this year's event as a member of the jury himself.
We are now together, the jury, since 48 hours. It's a fantastic, spicy jury. And so it's every time we are in a screening room and we watch a movie, it's fantastic to talk about this movie. It makes the movie more rich than before. And I'm losing some of my opinions because the others are intelligent. Yeah, this is fantastic.
Thank God you came when you did, Ben. We'll have some tea.
I'll not, Mother.
You've time to sit and show my purse is in the office. Leave your coat off, you'll feel the benefit later.
The first film screening and in competition is Small Things Like These, directed by Tim Milans and starring Cillian Murphy. The story takes place at the end of the 19th century about a loving father who unearths startling truths about himself. Also featured in the film are actresses Leah Dundee and Claire Dunn.
It feels amazing. I remember the last time I was here, I was made stand and pose as a Berlin shooting star, which is lovely. I only have a very small role in this. Leah Dunn has a much bigger role in the film, and she's a fabulous new Irish actress, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's here as a shooting star in a few years herself. But it's great to be back.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's amazing. It's my first time here, so it's overwhelming but very exciting. Yeah.
Both of the ladies were pretty excited to watch the movie for the first time with an international audience.
Well, I haven't seen the film yet, so I can't wait to see it.
I do get to see a screening, and I'm very excited to see what the response is internationally and in the European market. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
Back on the red carpet, we talked to the cast of A Different Man, also a film in competition. It's a dark and witty thriller about an ambitious New York actor who undergoes a radical surgical procedure to drastically transform his appearance.
I'm feeling very well, very excited. Haven't seen it yet, and I'm looking forward to it.
Very, very hard to say one clear thing about the story because it's so many twists and turns, which makes it very special and very interesting, of course.
Well, it's a very unique film. It has a lot of heart and a very important message, and I think there's something very universal about it because it's about identity and acceptance and sort of, how we all sometimes depend on other people to tell us how to be and who we are, and maybe we don't look enough inside to kind of, have the courage to look in the mirror and accept who we are and so on. So I think a lot of people will relate to it more than they think. And it's a powerful message. I mean, it's about disfigurement and disability and how much we don't understand about it and how often, we've grown up with certain preconceived ideas of how to look at it.
Though Sebastian Stan is well known for his superhero blockbusters, an even more widely famed star is Rooney Mara, who looked stunning on the red carpet during the premiere of La Cocina. La Cocina is a tragic and comic tribute to the invisible people who prepare our food.
Now, what asshole CEO decided everyone should be able to eat lobster? I mean, not everyone was meant to eat lobster in this life, in this world, you know?
It's the saddest thing I've heard today.
Did you know they used to be considered poor man's meat? Less than 100 years ago, lobster was the chicken of the sea.
We asked Rooney if she learned anything about the subject of food while shooting the film.
About cooking? God, no. I was a waitress, so I didn't have to know how to cook, but I learned that waitressing is very difficult.
And maybe she has a favorite dish that she wants to share with us?
No, I don't have a favorite dish. I eat really boring, plain, vegan. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so
We just eat the same foods all the time, though. We just eat really healthy, clean, boring food. I like it, but it's nothing exciting.
No, it's not food.
Yeah.
Excuse-moi, pardon, je suis en train de faire mon cours de danse sur Zoom. J'ai vu que tu avais récupéré le carton qui est arrivé ce matin.
Oui, exact, oui.
Bah, ça serait pas mes cracottes sans gluten par hasard?
Ah bah non, ce sont mes chaussettes.
Ils sont chiants, ça fait une semaine que je les ai commandées. Bon, je vous dérange pas plus, mon cours est pas terminé.
Suspended Time is a film taking place at the beginning of the COVID lockdown and was written in that same period by filmmaker Olivier Assayas. Not aware it would turn into a film, he was taking notes about all the things that happened during this historical event, and they gradually transformed into a script.
C'est quoi?
C'est mes chaussettes.
Tu as commandé sur Amazon?
Oui.
Tu connais les conditions de travail navrantes dans les entrepôts d'Amazon? Je t'apprends rien.
I started writing something plainly autobiographical, like if I was, it felt like I was writing what would become eventually a book. And then all of a sudden I had an idea of a scene, something that had happened between my brother and me. And I said, oh, maybe the way the past and the present connect is something I've never really tried. Who knows, maybe it can work. And I started writing, and I wrote scene after scene, switching between a completely autobiographical childhood memory. And on the other side, I was writing comedy scenes that were extremely similar to what I had experienced myself during lockdown.
And in the meantime, the 74th annual Berlin Film Festival continues through the 25th of February. Every self-respecting international film festival has a special evening to pay tribute to a cinema legend. And the Berlinale wouldn't be the Berlinale if they didn't also participate in this beautiful tradition. This year's honored guest was none other than the brilliant director Martin Scorsese, who received a special Golden Bear for his lifetime of achievements. And the audience was treated to a special screening of his 2006 classic, The Departed, for which Marty received his first and so far only Oscar. Of course, we had to know what that moment felt like back then.
Well, it really felt wonderful to win the Best Director Oscar for that. I've been nominated now 10 times, and we won once with The Departed. And it's even though I always say that over the years I learned that my films weren't going to be getting Oscars, but at least I got to make them. But it was still a thrill when you heard your name called.
Scorsese is nominated by the Academy again this year for the powerful period crime drama Killers of the Flower Moon. But he's not too concerned about his chances.
Oh, I'm past that now. I think whatever happens, happens. I'm just glad that the film got made, the way it got made. Apple did a great job backing us all the way through. It's amazing because it's a very risky film to make, and they did it. And so I'm hoping that, I'm really hoping that it does well for the people who made the film together with me, my actors, and particularly the Osage in front of the camera and behind the camera, because without them, we did everything with them. They literally helped us write the picture, so,
Other filmmakers were in attendance that night, such as Wim Wenders, Fatih Akin, and Sharon Stone, who fondly remembers working with Scorsese in the 90s.
He was much cooler than I imagined him. I didn't know what he would be like as a person. He was just really, cool. He was really like somebody who was on the edge of all the things that were always happening. Like he was right there with what's going on.
Director Fatih Akin, meanwhile, also has good memories about watching a Scorsese film for the first time, and the Turkish-German filmmaker considers Martin incredibly important to his own career and cinematic vision.
I remember pretty well. It was Taxi Driver, and the funny thing is that the cinema I've seen that, it was kind of like a red light district in Hamburg where I'm living. So when we came out of the film, my best friend and me, when we came out of the film, we saw things on the street, what we just have seen in the movies, in Marty's movie, you know, and so that inspired us. We can do our stories here, you know, we could be inspired by him, but we can shoot our streets, you know. That was the thing I had clearly in mind.
We're going to keep an eye out when they hand out the Oscars on the 10th of March. But one thing's for sure, Martin Scorsese is now included on the Berlinale's list of honorary Golden Bear winners. This year's Berlinale was the first European festival to take place since the end of the Hollywood actors and screenwriters strikes, during which many international releases were temporarily postponed. The 74th edition of the fest featured both glamorous and political moments on the red carpet, crowded cinemas, and numerous filmmakers showcasing their works. But before coming to an end, Lupita Nyong'o and her jury also handed out some awards to the winners. The big prize of the night, the Golden Bear for Best Picture, went to the documentary Dahomey, from French-Senegalese filmmaker Mati Diop, who tried hard to make her film impartial.
The aspect, the edition, the work of editing, was also very, very important, and was a writing moment, because once you have 6 hours of debate, to short it to around 30 minutes is really sculpture. You really, like, the idea was really to try to build a thought out of 6 hours of, and to make it sound like it's one and same collective intelligence.
The year's Best Supporting Performer, meanwhile, is Emily Watson, and Best Leading Performer went to Sebastian Stan, who was thrilled to snag a trophy on his first time bringing a movie to the fest.
I wish it could always be that way, but I don't know, you know, and that's why I was saying, I was like, yeah, I've never really been given anything like this, and then I've never been to a European film festival with a project I was a part of, so it's like, how is it ever going to be? It's always going to be special because of that, because it's the first time in so many ways.
The Best Director Award was presented to the Dominican Republic's Nelson Carlos de los Santos Arias for the intriguing semi-documentary Pepe, though he was sure he'd be going home with a smaller prize.
But no, I got the Best Director, and you know, I always say that I am not a director. I like to think that I'm an artist that produces images and sound, and most of the time in a very solitary way. So it's funny to get Best Director. I don't know, it's big. It's massive.
Germany's Matthias Glasner won Best Screenplay with the dark family comedy Sterben.
Well, great, of course. It's a great honor, and I was very happy about what the jury said, why they awarded the film, because in the conflicts of the family is the core of every other conflicts in the world, and I think so too. And I was happy that they were seeing the film that way. Yeah.
The Iranian film The Great Yawn of History snagged a special jury prize, which director Ali Arasti was excited about.
This is since it's an independent movie, it's not like commercial movies. It's more art house movie, and so these kind of awards, I think they can help to find new audiences all over the world. So it's really something that can help my career as well.
And the panel also presented a special Silver Bear for Outstanding Artistic Contribution to cinematographer Martin Schlach.
Well, tonight I knew that it's gonna happen, that they call my name, so I was expecting it. It was not so scary like when those two guys called me and said, hey, you won a Silver Bear, and I said, what, you won? I said, yeah, you, Martin, cinematography. And they said, there is no award for cinematography. I didn't even know this, and then I understood this. They can dedicate it to cinematography. And of course, I was incredibly happy.
Congratulations to all of the winners at the 74th Annual Berlin Film Festival. We'll see you next year for number 75.